Alright, so I've been playing a lot of Besiege the last few days, and I've gotten pretty successful at it. And I've noticed that there aren't a whole lot of videos that I can find anyway, of people completing the entire Ipsilon campaign with a flying machine. So I've gotten decent at it, pretty successful with this design. I'd like to try to make a video showing that. So let's see what I can do. Pretty wonky here. A lot of these I really have to slow down the time scale with because it's a little bit tricky to fly this thing sometimes, especially with all the bombs still attached. This part requires no bombs, so at least these are in the beginning. Oop, that's gonna be off a little bit. These archers make it pretty difficult because it's just really luck of the draw where those arrows go. Sometimes they'll hit the bottom of the bombs and will just completely blow you up. But usually I can just keep trying over and over until they don't hit one of the bombs and I'm good to go. Sometimes I have to actually avoid them a little bit. At this level, the main priority is the archers, so that doesn't happen. So just have to kind of keep retrying it. I could probably put some armor on the bombs, but it'd make the design a lot more complicated and probably make this thing a lot bigger than it needs to be. So try to avoid them. Yeah, there we go. Problem, I used to just have one bomb drop per hotkey, and the problem with that was, one, I didn't really get that much coverage, and two, it would destabilize the bomber. So I'd drop like the left side, and the right side would dip, or the right side would dip down. I have to adjust for that. It made a real pain in the ass to fly it. So instead, I've got two bombs dropping now per. But the problem with that is that the explosion is so huge that I really have to have a lot of altitude, or I have to be moving pretty fast to avoid getting hit by my own bombs. You can see it throws all this debris all over the place. So yeah, that should probably be good. I think the fire will probably take care of them. Yeah. This one is one of the really tricky ones with this because I have to use a cargo hook, and it's just really tricky to do it. A lot of times what I'll try to do is I'll just bomb these, try to knock them loose, because it's really hard to fly in right over there. So, yep, a little bit too low. Gotta get a lot of altitude to get above that rock and get out of explosion range. So let's try it from here. It's gonna be a little bit off, I think. Unfortunately. If I can't get it with the bombs, it's not that big of a deal. It just makes it a little bit harder. Get close. Okay, yeah, knock that one loose, good. And not paying attention to what I'm doing. Yeah. Alright, let's try that again. This one's easy. It's easy in theory. There's no archers or anything, but it just requires a lot of really delicate flying. If this game had joystick support, I don't know if it does or not. I haven't really looked into it, but I think that would make it a lot easier, especially on levels like this. Okay, so it's probably good enough. We can drop all these bombs. These bombs are kind of a liability on missions like this, where I don't get to destroy anything. It's just breathing on them makes them explode and kills my helicopter. So now's where it gets a little bit dicey. have to grab these with the cargo hook. And it's a little easier said than done. Really close there. Without the time dilation, this mission would be completely impossible for this machine, I think. Maybe if someone was a better pilot than I am, but it's, I'd honestly like to see that. There we go. Wait. Uh-oh. See, when I have... Okay, yeah, crap. There we go, that one. When you have one of these ore balls on the cargo hook, it pretty much invariably it's going to make it unstable unless you get it like dead on center. It's going to make one side tilt a little bit more, and you constantly have to adjust for that, so it's pretty tricky. I should have dropped those. I'm going to drop those side bombs so I can get the one on the outside. So, yeah, so this is like a heavy design. I had one with just 4 bombs, like I was saying before, and it was honestly a lot easier to fly, but on certain missions, like the sheep mission and the one that I just beat with the horde of, the battalion of soldiers, I just didn't have enough coverage on the bombs to complete those missions. It was just me, like, running around trying to just swoop down and kill sheep with my spear, which is just a real pain in the ass. And honestly, I have to do that anyway, but I have to do it a lot less with a heavy bomber than I did with my other one. Just drop these. These things are just dangerous to have on a mission like this. It's imagining like a cargo helicopter, like a Chinook, and like they're trying to, hoist like a girder for a bridge or something, and then they also have like a bunch of extremely explosive bombs hanging from the bottom of them. And anybody breathes on them, they explode. A really bad idea. Same concept. This mission actually gave me a whole lot of problems when I was trying it with land vehicles, but with this thing, it's completely cake. It zaps the bombs in midair, but I just had too many to really deal with all of them. Most of these are really easy with this helicopter, but there are a few that aren't hard at all with a land machine, which are really, really difficult with it. Like, you can see how these archers are just a real problem for this bomber. Jesus. Once I get some altitude, it's not so bad, but... Whoa! Okay. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, archers aren't nearly as big of a deal for a ground vehicle, but these bombs are just so vulnerable that just makes it really hard to do missions with archers on them. And it's like, I haven't really experimented with the armor, but I just from my limited experience with this game, I know it would make it really difficult to pilot this thing. So I might try it sometime, but it's not really a priority of mine right now. I can get the tents and I should be good to go. I don't know why they send a siege engine to kill tents. I don't know. I've noticed in this game, wings are like essential. Like, even if I have a helicopter, it's like a vertical flight, but just having those wings on there adds so much more stability onto it. It's kind of like I don't really see how you can have a stable helicopter unless you had a bunch of wings on it, like I do on this one. Maybe if it was really small. Oh, lost a wing there. Usually I can get this in one go because my bombs usually explode when I try to suicide like that. But if they didn't this time. One side. Some people have told me about the spacebar shortcut to start and stop the game, but if you could see my hands, I'm using the number pad to pilot this thing, so it's kind of a long reach. And I have my finger on the mouse anyway to adjust the camera, so. Alright, another Archer mission. This is... I wouldn't say this is a difficult mission, you just have to kind of get lucky. Avoid these areas, because you've got 2 rows of archers here. Once you avoid the archers, it's not so hard. But... Alright, here we go. Didn't mean to drop 4 there. Let's see. 2 more bombs. See if we can do that. 2 bombs is a lot with a land vehicle, but with this thing, it's you can see it's a little bit difficult to aim. You have to kind of resist the urge to just like drop them wherever. The archers don't count. Alright. Yeah, with this thing, it's like you just want to get rid of your bombs as fast as you can because it makes it so much easier to fly. Like you can see how sluggish it is taking off with a full load of bombs. But just you really have to be patient and be accurate with. If I back up first. Yeah, oh, apparently not. That's a piece of strength. Yeah. It doesn't shoot far. Notice that these archers are extremely accurate, which is kind of funny considering how crappy the rest of the level of technology is for. Well, I guess it's not. I guess they do have flying machines. It's not that bad, but a lot of stuff feels very clumsy, and I'm sure that's intentional. Alright, so there's another mission I don't need the bombs for, so drop them in the beginning. I have decouplers to drop the bombs, and I kind of like that because originally I just had grabbers, and what I would do is, just toggle the grabber to get rid of the bombs. But the problem with that is that it left the grabbers on the helicopter, which one added a little bit of weight. I mean, a negligible amount, but a little bit nonetheless. And 2, on missions like this where I had to grab stuff, you really only want, a grabber in the central axis, because if you saw how unstable it was with that iron ore, it's makes it really, really hard if you grab something off of your center axis. Ooh, what's so wrong? So you really want a grabber right on the center and nowhere else to prevent accidental grabs of stuff. Although it does make it harder to get the initial grab, which makes your life a whole lot easier once you have to actually fly it to where you need to go. And my whole intention with this thing was to get I got a slam. To get a aircraft that was able to do every mission, so having a decent ability to grab stuff is pretty important. You can see I'm not modifying this thing in between each mission, which first few times I played through the campaign I did do. But I think it's kind of more of an interesting challenge to have one kind of jack of all trades machine that can do everything. I haven't actually done done every single mission with one machine, with the ground machine. I've just done it with aircraft because I think it's a little bit more interesting of a style of gameplay. So this is, I wouldn't say it's the most difficult level for this thing, but definitely the most time consuming. And I think that's probably holds true for most people in this game, whether they're doing a helicopter or not. These sheep are they're just so spread out, and there's so many of them that it's just a really pain in the ass to get all of them. Now the good thing is that they kill themselves a lot. So you can see, like, even before I did it, I got a bunch of sheep killed, like they're just jumping off cliffs and stuff. So that's nice. Like, I feel like sheep are dumb, but they're not this dumb, right? Like they're just like willingly. I mean, I'm sure they do sometimes just walk to their deaths, but it can't be this common, right? It'd be extinct. I'll drop 2 more, and then I'm gonna have to start swooping down with my spike, which really sucks. But nope. No, 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 not in the fire. Okay. Fire's bad for pretty much every machine, but I don't know if it's just in my head or what, but it seems like these flight materials really just go up in a millisecond. Just like as soon as you touch any fire, this machine is just completely doomed. You know, if you see any sort of fire on your machine, if you're not like basically already done with the mission, you're screwed. You might as well just start over. The flight stuff is pretty limited right now. I hope that I'm sure that they will add a few more blocks for flight. But I've tried a few designs with spinning blocks and the aerodynamic propeller block, but they're just not flexible enough. You can't change the pitch of them or anything like that. It makes it really hard to counter the torque of the rotor. So, like, normally, I don't know if I can do it right now, but it makes it so you can't really make like a tandem rotor design, like a dual rotor helicopter. I'm sure there's a way you could, but it's definitely not easy. So I'd like to see some more flexibility, at the very least that block, but really all the aerodynamic blocks. This level's actually pretty easy once I take care of the archers, but you know, it's just one of the things that this machine has trouble with is archers. It's a blood rotor. Actually, kind of happens a lot with this thing. It's kind of funny. Kind of appreciate the abstractness of this game. Like, it's kind of minimalistic. You have the level, and then you just have this white area. And, you know, it's a good idea for an indie developer because you don't have to spend a whole lot of time generating terrain and stuff. I kind of wish there were other enemies to worry about than archers. I mean, the archers are definitely formidable, but I wish the knights actually did damage. It seems like the knights just basically charge at you and just pump you a little bit. Don't actually do any damage or anything, so nice if they did. Ooh! That's what I was talking about with the bombs having quite a bit of blast radius when you have 2 of them. I'm no physicist, but that doesn't seem right to me. There's 2 bombs having that much more of a blast radius. Whatever. Not my area of expertise. Good hit. There we go. So, you can see I'm able to do most of these missions at 100%. Speed. The hauling missions are pretty much the only ones that I have trouble with. Yeah, I'm gonna throw this up on YouTube. If you guys have any questions about the build or anything like that, just leave a comment and try to answer it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.